Hello, thank you. First off, I just want to thank you for taking your time and coming here and talking with me today. Well, I'm here. Well, my boy, my son, every day he comes home and I ask him about his homework. I try to figure out what's going on, and he's not understanding the teacher and the interpreter. Every single day it's the same. Your interpreter is she certified?
Is she a certified teacher? No, no, she's not a certified teacher.
The interpreter, is she a certified interpreter? Not a teacher, a certified interpreter.
Well, I'm sure she must be. She has taken a couple of classes, sign language classes, at the community college, and she interprets every week at her church. Does that make her certified?
All right, yeah, that's right. My boy, he told me about that. Interpreters must be certified. They have a lot of different national certifications, like the NIC. And in interpreting for your church, that's volunteer work. It's not the same thing. They need to be certified.
Oh, she's really very good. The deaf people at her church think she's wonderful. Maybe she just learned more quickly than most interpreters. I'm sure that's not the problem. She's very good. We all feel that she's very good. I'm wondering, I have heard that deaf people often have trouble academically. Has your son always had trouble academically?
All right, this is nothing new. I mean, I've heard this all before. I, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. And deaf and hearing both have problems. It's not just the deaf. It's deaf and hearing both have problems academically. You're very wrong. This is kind of getting me a little bit upset thinking about this. What's your interpreter's name?
Well, if you're angry, I'm not sure I should tell you her name. Have you ever met her?
I've met many interpreters. I don't know if they're good, if they're bad by her name. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, it's not gonna make it any worse.
Her name is Beth.
Beths. I mean, I know a lot of Beths, but good interpreters, I don't know any, and I don't know any that are certified. What's Beth's last name?
Beth Brown.
Beth Brown. She's not a certified interpreter. Um, Honestly, I will. If you don't switch the interpreters and have a certified interpreter for my son, I'm gonna have to take him out of the school, and after that, I'm sure I'm going to tell other members of the deaf community that have deaf children in schools that they need to take their children out as well, because you're not allowing them the access they need with these hypothetical interpreters. Your ideals and concepts about an interpreter, they're wrong. That's something that you yourself need to work on.
Well, now, Beth has been with our system for several years, and no other parent ever complained. All of those children made A's and B's. So I'm really wondering if maybe some of this is not Earl's problem. Maybe he does not pay attention in class.
Um, I'm sorry, but you are very wrong. You are extremely wrong. Think about this. If you have a lousy interpreter, you're gonna have a lousy student. I'm getting off point again. Um, she's been interpreting here for 4 years, so my son is the first deaf student.
No, your child is not the first deaf student we've had. We get the kids from the elementary school. We've had we've had several, 3 or 4 deaf students come through over the years. Now you're the first deaf parent we've had, but we've had few deaf children come through the middle school before. Do you think it makes a difference if a student has deaf parents or hearing parents?
Yes, there is a difference between hearing parents and different parents with deaf children. Hearing parents, they come up and they want to just help their kids. Me, I'm different. I like to try to let my kid do it on his own. The language itself is different. Hearing parents are more English with their kid. All right, getting off point again. I'm not pleased with you just taking these hypothetical interpreters and just placing them in the schools. You need a certified interpreter for my son.
Well, now we advertised in the paper, and she was the interpreter that responded to the advertisement. We called her references, and the people at the church liked her just fine. What if I?
The church that doesn't count. Um, it's a different kind of interpreting. You need to call specific people, and they'll give you a list of interpreters. Um, A's, B's, those are fine, but anything below a B, really, and they need practice. Um, but once again, you need to have an interpreter. It's not important where she came from. You need to have an interpreter.
I can't find one.
My wife told me you might say that. You can find a qualified interpreter. They're everywhere. They're all around here.
Well, I only have so much money that I can spend here. We just have a budget. I know your son's important to you, but I have 500 other students in this school, and we can't spend all of our money um, on an interpreter. How much would I have to pay for an A certified interpreter?
You keep talking about money. Money's not what's important. It's not the bottom line. The bottom line is equal access. You keep saying you can't, but you can. That's the thing, you can. The county will pay for the interpreter. If you stop worrying about the money. Interpreters cost about $15 to $30 an hour, but honestly, like I said, that's not what's important. Please just stop thinking about the money. Equal access is what needs to be the forefront of your thought.
Well, what would happen if I had 4 or 5 students that showed up that were deaf and they all needed an interpreter? I would never be able to afford interpreters for all those children.
you're still talking about money. Take money out of this equation. What's important in this is that my son gets the education he needs. He gets that one-on-one learning and one-on-one interpreting that is necessary for him to learn.
Well, I think he probably has equal access. He has the same teacher. He has a certified teacher, and everybody else in that room seems to do fine. The fact is, he's handicapped, and I guess he'll just have to work a little harder.
You're still being negative. You're being negative about this whole situation. Think about the positives. The problem is not my son. If my son gets the right interpreter, he'll be able to learn. He will probably surpass all the other students. He's just not having that right now.